explain to us kind of, first of all, why are we, explain what just happened in terms of what has changed from December 16th order.
The December 16th order was an order where the bail was a $10,000 cash bail, and it was to convert to personal recognizance, which would release Ms. Rood with very strict conditions on supervision by community corrections. Since that time, community corrections has determined that they do not want to supervise her, so therefore the defense attorney filed a motion asking that bail be revisited, and we argue today whether or not the court should essentially order community corrections to supervise her.
What do we know about the felony charges?
The felony charges right now are still pending. They're in bind-over status, and we have 90 days to indict.
So what does that mean, essentially? In addition to the charges she faces by the state of New Hampshire, she will be facing charges from the U.S. Attorney's Office?
Right now, I'm not going to comment on any federal charges. That's up to them whether they make that decision.
But you've been made aware that they are looking at the case.
And that is a concern that that might be an added flight risk?
I think it's always a concern, yeah, when there's an additional penalty she may be looking at.
What about information about her personal safety and the safety of those around her? What do we know about that?
It's remains the same concerns we've had all along, that she is dealing with some substance abuse issues, and that sometimes that leads to people making bad decisions.
Yeah, were you surprised when the county administrator got up and talked about the unidentified man calling him and his basis for overriding the decision by his supervisors to basically overturn their decision?
I wouldn't say surprised. I think this case has garnered some very strong feelings in the community on both sides, so I wouldn't say it would surprise me, no.
So the basis of his argument was, your understanding was what?
The basis of
Ray Bauer's
essentially they're concerned that there may be a risk to her in the community, and that she also may be a flight risk.
So what will happen next? The judge is taking it under advisement. Do we have any sense of a timeline of when a decision might be turned around?
We don't, but I would anticipate fairly soon. I don't think he'll take too long.
You think a weekend or today?
He doesn't sit here often, so it may be today, it may be next week. I can't say for sure.
So if she is released to transitional housing, that's what it would be, to transitional housing, correct? So she'd spend the night on the premises of the county complex, but in transitional housing.
Correct, and then she would be free to leave during the day.
There was some confusion over whether she was to be under lockdown during the day. Could you explain that?
Yep, the judge in his prior order had ordered house arrest, which was different than being locked down.
Excuse me, house arrest.
House arrest is what Judge Horn had ordered, essentially meaning that she wouldn't be able to leave her residence or wherever she was staying unless it was approved by community corrections, so to go to counseling sessions, anything like that.
And it sounded like defense would be happy with that.
Yes, yeah, they were in agreement with that.
But it also sounds like transitional housing isn't necessarily set up for that.
That's correct. Transitional housing, people can come and go as they please.
So there wouldn't be that sort of accommodation there for her, correct?
That's correct.
Other than the GPS?
Other than the GPS would be the only way we would monitor her location. Yep.
So is that another main reason why you don't want her to be released?
Yes, that's part of the state's concern, absolutely.
Where is Rood in the jail? Is she in a therapeutic community? Is she in a special medical unit, or is she in the general population?
That I don't know, but I can tell you therapeutic community isn't a separate location. It's just a program that inmates can utilize while they're there.
Is it the state's position that she could get all the benefits that the defense is arguing for her to be able to get outside of being incarcerated? Explain that matchup. You did it in there, but tell us that component of her ability to get the help she needs.
Yeah, I think some of the concerns that the defense has raised is substance abuse counseling, and it's the state's position that she can get those same services at the jail while we can confirm and guarantee that she wouldn't be a flight risk.
And your plea to the judge, you basically, if you can sum that up again, you said, why take this risk if we don't have to?
Right.
Absolutely. I think what the state's asking is we've all identified her as being a high-risk individual, that we don't need to take that risk.